This is your boy, making an audiobook because no one wants to read this book, but I've read it at least a few times, so I will be rereading it again to you, so you can listen to it while you go to work or school, or you're just sitting on the train because you're bored out of your mind, so you can suffer with me. We're starting over. Chapter 1, Introduction. Author's Notes. Thanks for giving this monster of a story a try. I'm sure all of you know by the text that this is going to have quote-unquote mature content, so be ready for that. I don't much care for the intro, but it's necessary to introduce the mindset of the character I'm trying to portray. I hope everyone has a lot of fun with this, or at least it manages to kill some time. I am a not-so-typical college student, but I consider myself to be normal in plenty of ways. I go to school, I go to work, and I love my family. But that is where my normalcy ends. I am a hardcore brony, and when I say hardcore, I do mean hard fucking core. Every moment I live where I do not have to focus on some kind of work, I am thinking of ponies. I would dare say that most bronies merely love the show and the characters, and leave it at that. They go about their normal lives and enjoy their simple bronyism as a hobby. However, this is not the case with me. Every day I fantasize about living in Equestria with the 6 ponies who have grabbed, in parentheses, can they do that? I mean, they have hooves and all. My heart and refuse to let go. So with that in mind, let us start the show. 4 asterisks in a row. 6 a.m. rolls around and my alarm clock goes off. I jump out of bed and stop the alarm before the 3rd beep. Why do alarm clocks have to be so damn obnoxious? I swear under my breath. I really need to stop doing this. I don't have to work until 3 p.m. today. Why do I keep getting up so early? I slide into my computer chair, get comfortable, and before turning on the monitor, once the flash is over and my sight returns to me, the silhouette of Rainbow Dash as my background graces my eyes. Oh yeah, that's why. The next several hours pass with my reading of fanfiction and checking Equestria Daily and My Little Brony meme base for new material. Currently, my desire for anything and everything pony is what solely gives me joy in life. You see, I have always been a bit introverted. I have always had people I would call buddies in the past, but we were only close due to circumstance. We were friends because we went to the same school or worked the same job, but once life took over, each friendship would end without a single word being spoken about it. Those friendships simply ended as if they had never existed in the first place. Also, due to an early exposure of, quote-unquote, adult material in my youth, I grew up simply being bored of the physical appearance of women. From the age of 7, all about porn, and I had very easy access to the stuff. By 15, I had already seen the most attractive women this world had to offer. Therefore, I no longer allow myself to love a woman in a romantic way. To summarize, I have no friends, no lover, and no life. Some would say. I wish I could say that it doesn't bother me, but there are days when it feels like the weight of the world rests solely upon my shoulders. If only there because I don't have a soul in the world to hold it up with me. Shit, I cursed, looking at the time. It is already 2:16 p.m. I guess I better get ready for work. I spent the next few minutes putting on my work attire and gathering the items I need to get through the day. At least it's only a 7-hour work shift today. Now that school is almost over for winter break, I'll be able to relax all day tomorrow. Oh crap, there's that exam Thursday, ... Once work gets out, I'll only have a day to study. Asterisk, sigh, asterisk. Well, at least there's only one more week for that class after then. 2:45 rolled around, and I said goodbye to the desktop image of Rainbow Dash, half-heartedly descending my bedroom stairs as I headed for the front door. My mother stopped me for a hug on the way out. You see, even though I was 20, I hadn't felt the need to move out yet. I loved my parents and got along fine with them for the most part, so why would I move out just to make their life harder than it already was? I wish I could believe that, but the truth was I was using my parents for comfort. I used them both financially and emotionally. Living at home was cheaper by a long shot than living on my own, and my parents were the only people in my life who I feel loved me regardless of my imperfections. I made the same trek to work as I had hundreds of times before. I'd gotten into the habit of singing, "I'm a brony now," every time I went to work. If I could keep my mind on the ponies I love so much, the day would go much more smoothly. I arrived at work and parked in the same spot I had every other time, sighing as I exited the vehicle. "Here goes nothing," I groaned. walking through the sliding doors of the store. It was holiday madness again. And I work retail, so I don't have to tell you that it's not a fun time. Thankfully, though, the day was just like any other. There were a few difficult customers, but nobody was irate about anything. Closing time rolled around, and I got very impatient waiting for the arrival of my relief. All I wanted to do was get home, get a shower, enjoy some more pony, and go to bed. Not necessarily in that order, mind you. My relief finally arrived, and I hurriedly got all my closing work accomplished and said goodbye to my coworkers. Upon exiting the building, I was hit with the freezing cold air the colder seasons in the Midwest were known to give. I didn't mind too much, though. It was a nice way to liven up a bit after another dull day of work. I made my way to my vehicle, already lost in thought over what kind of fan fiction might come out during my time at work. I hoped there would be some more HIE, in parentheses, human and equestria shipping stories. I would admit it to no one. But when I say that I love ponies, I'm not kidding. I don't care if they are ponies. They are the kindest, sweetest, most lovable characters I've ever known. It was not difficult in the slightest to find myself attracted to them on a deeper level. At times I do feel bad about it, though. Not because I am ashamed to love them, but because they are so innocent and I find myself to be an enormous pervert. After the first 8 years of my porn-filled youth, I began to discover more and more types of porn. I went through a weird phase of hentai, followed by a phase of furryism. Furryism was the latest discovery, which I had made about 4 years earlier. I couldn't help but delve into the world of Rule 34, even with ponies. I absolutely hated myself every single time for it because I loved them so much. While here I was, using their likeness to satisfy my unnaturalistic, animalistic desires. After a particular session of Rule 34, I found myself thinking, if they were real, and I ended up being with one of them, it wouldn't be bestiality because I'm with them, it would be because they are with me. I pulled out of the lot and made the same turn I had made time and time again to get back home. Even though today had been fine by normal standards, I couldn't help but sigh and fight off my depression. Today wasn't a normal day. Why do I have to feel this way every goddamn shift? Every fucking day is the same stupid shit again and again. I swore, hitting the steering wheel with enough force to make myself lose control of the vehicle slightly. I don't have a bad life. I don't have a hard life. Yet every single day, I can only wish to be dead or fantasize about being with horses. I mean, good fucking God, it's a cartoon. It's not real. I shouldn't take it so seriously, and yet I do. All I can think about is living there. But what about my family? They would hate me if I knew I wanted so badly to give up my life here for something else. And not just something else, but a fictional world full of colorful ponies. It's like I'm turning my back on not only my family, but my world and my species. The worst part is, I would do it if I ever got the chance. My rant trailed off as I lost myself in my own mind. I didn't see the light turn red, nor did I see the truck coming the other way. All I saw was the world turn on its side as I lost myself in darkness. Chapter 2: Where am I? Author's note. You came back? Well, good on you, mate. Anyway, I'm just wanting to let you know, everything in italics are mental quotes. I don't use them that much in the future, but I didn't feel the need to change it here. Well, that's all for now. Hope this chapter is more pleasant for you than the last. Also, ... I swear a lot. Just a warning for you. Ah, shit. What the fuck happened? I woke violently screaming. I looked around only to see the most beautiful and colorful forest I had ever seen. What is going on? 1 minute I'm driving. Wait. I got hit by that fucking truck. Wait. What the fuck is going on? I swore to nobody in particular. Okay, let's calm down here. Let's figure out what the situation is. I'm alone. In a forest. No road. No vehicle, no people, God knows where, and the last thing I remember is being hit by a truck. What the flying fuck is going on here? I could only sigh and hold my face in my hands as I fought back panic. This whole situation made no sense. How did I go from driving to waking up here? Well, I know when you get lost you're supposed to stay where you are, but that was always assuming people knew where you generally to look for you. I could be 10 minutes away from a town, and yet I decide to sit on my ass and wait. Or I could get up and start walking. I think walking sounds pretty good. I got up off the ground and dustled myself off. Dustled? I took a few minutes to admire the forest around me before starting my search for civilization. The trees and flowers had a color to them that almost made them look artificial. If it were not for the smell wafting from my nose, I may have thought somebody was merely playing a joke on me. Like I had woken up in some sort of stupid reality show. I took in a deep breath and let out a long sigh. I don't know where I am, but I don't think I've ever tasted cleaner air. Now that I have a choice to make, which way do I flipping go? I was in the middle of a light patch of trees, but it looked like regardless of the direction I chose, the tree line only gets thicker. Isn't there some kind of rule like, if you're lost, you can't stay, but put always head north? Shit, I can't remember, because, when would I ever need to know how to get out of a forest? At that moment, I heard a rustling, followed by some muffled noises. It was then I started to panic even more. Okay, maybe it is a person, but if it isn't, you know what, fuck it, we're going up a tree. I ran to the nearest tree and forced myself up, trying to hide myself the best I can. If it is a person, I can just climb down, but if it isn't, then I may get lucky and it won't see me. I really need to stop talking to myself in these situations. I sat in the tree for what felt like hours. Each time I thought whatever it was decided to either go back or went around me, I would hear a noise that put that thing even closer to me. Shit was all that went through my mind as whatever had been making the noises finally emerged. My heart dropped. Not 10 yards away was a cyan Pegasus with a rainbow mane. Her left wing was tucked in lightly against her body, but her right wing looked like she had crash-landed on it. It was battered and bruised worse than the rest of her. Even though she looked like a wolf attack victim, I had to admit that she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. Is that? No, it can't be. But it is. I don't even want to think about it. It is impossible. But there she is. And she's hurt. I'm a fucking god in heaven. Rainbow Dash is fucking hurt, and I'm hiding in the tree like a little bitch. I have to help her. But what if she's scared of me and takes off? You know what? Fuck it. Hello? Dash managed to get out. Is some pony there? I was practicing some tricks over the ever-free forest when I lost control and crashed. Hard. I'm pretty lost at the moment, and I could use some directions, but I don't get any weird ideas if you think I'm helpless. I couldn't move. I couldn't even breathe. Seeing her was one thing, but I could understand her too. I always thought there would be some kind of language barrier if God willingly something like this ever happened to me. I could hardly contain my enthusiasm, but I had to do or say something. Yeah, I'm here. I finally managed to get out. Oh good. I thought that might have been a manticore or something, and I just bucked up bad. So, who are you? And more importantly, where are you? Well, my name's Cole, and I'm in a tree currently, but I don't want to come out just yet. What? Why not? Dash says, while starting to sound angry. Well, the thing is, if I come out, you're probably going to A, scream and run off, or more likely, B, you're going to take my appearance as a threat and kick my ass. I just swore to Rainbow Dash, bronies, forgive me. I'm assuming he said that in his mind. He didn't say that out loud. What are you, weird looking or something? Listen, I don't know what kind of ponies you've been around, but ponies around here don't care too much about what others look like, so will you please come out? You're kind of starting to freak me out. She chuckles a bit at the end. I laugh a bit too, saying, alright, I'll come out, but you have to promise that you won't freak out or run away. Or try to hurt me. I promise. Now get your flank out here, Dash says as I smile. Well, that's all I need to hear. So I slowly descend the tree while never taking my eyes off of Dash. I reach the ground before she finally sees me, but she doesn't know what to think. What are you? She asks as her face easily portrayed her shock. The short answer is that I'm a friend, and that you look like you've seen better days. I say that while staring at Dash in awe. God, she is real, and she is amazing. Listen, you, I don't buy that for 1 second as something as weird as looking as you would be willing to help me just like that, she yells, stomping the ground with her hoof. Are you some kind of spy? Even though she's yelling at me, I can't help but lose myself in happiness. Rainbow Dash, the Rainbow Dash, is right in front of me. I can almost reach out and I probably better not. I'm assuming that he also said that in his head and that wasn't an actual quote by him. Dash yells out again and breaks me from my mental stupor. Hey, I'm talking to you. Answer me. What are you? And why would you say that you're my friend? Listen, I have a name, you know. It's coal. I already told you that, and I can't explain it to you while you're freaking out. You said ponies around here don't care about what you look like. I look different. Yeah, but I wouldn't hurt any pony. Just the idea of doing such a thing makes my stomach wrench. So, what's your name? As if I even need to ask. Oh, well, it's Rainbow Dash, fastest flyer in all of Equestria, she exclaimed, perking up a bit. It is a pleasure to meet you, Rainbow Dash. Parentheses. Oh, fuck yes. You said you crashed practicing some new tricks? Yeah, I was distracted when this huge ball of light lit up the night sky last night. Wait, last night? How long have you been in the forest? I fell in last night, and so I had to spend the night in a tree. Trying to climb a tree with my wing in the condition that it was in is not fun. Dash laughs at herself a bit. It is really annoying, you know. I'm just minding my own business, and when all of a sudden a flash happens and I lose control. Well, Fluttershy can't get mad at me for crashing this time. It totally wasn't my fault. I guess crashing isn't all that common for you then. Parentheses, I regret that instantly. Hey, it isn't because I'm a bad flyer if that's what you're getting at, Dash said, snarling a bit. I just do the really hard stuff that no pony else is brave enough to do. Calm down, Dashy. I wasn't judging you. I was just trying to figure out the situation better. So, anyway, who is this Fluttershy? Is she like your mom or something? Parentheses, mom? Okay, first off, don't call me Dashy. Only my close friends get to call me that. I'm still not sure if I can trust you yet. Secondly, Fluttershy isn't my mom. She kind of acts like it though sometimes. But she is my closest and oldest friend. Okay. I won't call you Dashy again. Parentheses, I miss it already. Anyway, not that it hasn't been nice meeting you and all, but I think that it is past time we try and get out of this forest. I don't like the look of that wing of yours. It looks really messed up. I've had worse, but it's not fun. Well, I was kind of hoping you were another pony who could help me out. You're just as lost as I am, aren't you? Dash asked inquisitively. Yeah, I am. But what if you came this way on a straight path and didn't find a way out? That already eliminates one way we can go. Good point. Which way should we go now? Dash looked up at me with those big, beautiful maroon eyes. She had so much pride that she would never say how hurt or scared she was. But those eyes couldn't lie to me. I had never wanted to hold someone or pony so badly in all of my life. Cole, you're really starting to weird me out now, Dash says while backing up a little. Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. I've just never seen a creature like you before. I didn't mean to be so rude and stare like that. What do you mean? Are there not ponies where you come from? Is that what you are? A pony? In parentheses. I am so full of shit. Well, yes, there are ponies where I come from, but they aren't nearly as colorful or smart as you are. Ponies where I am from are smart for animals, I guess, but they can't talk or make rational decisions on a grander scale. Hearing all that made Dash a little bit more nervous than she already was. She tilted her head back and eyed me up and down. That's horrible. What happened to those ponies that made them like that? She asked while continually looking more than a little bit taken back. Nothing's wrong with them, Dash. That's just how they are. There's another thing, too. The ponies where I come from don't have wings. I don't know what you are called here. Parentheses. Yes, I do. But where I'm from, you would be called a Pegasus, and those are just myths. What? Just myths? I mean, that's what we're called, but only myths? Dash says, looking hurt. You have at least have unicorns? No, Dash, we don't. Those are myths, too. I'll say this right now, Dash. I don't think I'm in the same world anymore. That light that made you crash last night was probably whatever brought me here. No idea how I'm making that connection. But what the hell else could it be? Dash looks at me like I was a monster all over again and says, Are you trying to tell me that there are other worlds out there, and you're something from them? That doesn't make any sense. You're telling me, Dash, but can you please stop yelling? I don't know what kind of things live in this forest, and I'm not confident that I could protect both of us if we were attacked. What do you mean, protect both of us? I don't need protection from anything. I'm Rainbow Dash, the fastest flyer in all of Equestria. I'm not scared of anything, she exclaims as she throws her head up high. Dash, you're a very brave girl, but you're hurt. I'm sure you could kick the crap out of anything and everything if you were well, but you're grounded right now, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let any beast hurt you. Dash gawked at me. Why would you do that? I mean, I've just been yelling and distrusting you ever since you showed yourself to me. I wouldn't expect any pony to fight for me in this kind of situation, let alone whatever you are. Well, Dash, first off, I'm a human, and secondly, I don't need a reason. You're hurt, and your own the only thing keeping me from going insane with uncertainty and loneliness in a world that I've never been before. I think that makes you my benefactor. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but the point is, I will gladly fight for you if I have to. Dash just kept gawking for a few more seconds before hanging her head. That is so nice of you. I'm sorry I didn't trust you before, but I do now. She slowly looks up at me again, and I swear I couldn't love this pony any more if I tried. That apologetic look made her so unbelievably cute, and I could just explode right there and be happy. Part of me is surprised that she would trust me so soon, but damn it, I don't care. Don't give it a second thought, Dash. After all, that's what friends are for. She smiles while looking away from me a bit. Thanks, Cole, and you can call me Dashy if you want. ... Now it's my turn to gawk. Rainbow Dash, the one and only fucking Rainbow Dash, just inadvertently said that I'm a close friend of hers. My life is complete. Thanks, Dashy, I say, giving her the most sincere smile I've ever given anyone. After a minute, she looks back up at me and gives me a sweet smile of her own. Come on, Dashy, let's get out of this forest. I want to get you fixed up so you can show me how fast the fastest flyer in Equestria really is. Wow. She just beams at me before responding, yeah, let's get out of here. Apparently, Dash came up from the south, so we both agreed to head north. I fucking knew you were supposed to go north. I told you. After about 2 hours of walking, Dash was looking very haggard. Dashy, are you alright? Asked with more concern dripping out than I probably should have allowed. Yeah, I'm just really sore. Hey, if you want, I wouldn't mind carrying you for a while. She gawked at me again. Parentheses, she's been doing that a lot. I couldn't let you do that, Cole. Besides, I'm not even that tired. Hey, I'm not going to force you, Dashy. But if you think I'm offering because you're weak or something, that is not the case at all. I don't know if what your bones are made out of, or what you've been through, but you were hurt 20 times more than I have ever been. You're a trooper, and as a trooper, if you want a little break, I'll give you a free ride on my back. Other ponies are incredibly easy to manipulate. Parentheses, oh god, I hope they aren't. Or Dashy really did trust me. I will never forget what happened next for the rest of my life. Dashy looks up to me with her face as red as a beet and raised her hooves up like a child would if they wanted to be picked up. Parentheses, she's so cute. Oh my god, my heart. Not wanting to make her feel more embarrassed than she already was, I quickly lifted her off the ground and gently slid her onto my back. She cringes just a bit, like me, as the friction irritates the bruises on her belly. Sorry, Dashy. I hope that didn't hurt too badly. No. I'm fine, Cole. Can we just start moving, please? I don't want to do this any longer than I have to. Dash throws her head up, going wide-eyed, and as she realized how bad that sounded. Not that I'm thankful, of course. It's just really uncool, and I take my coolness very seriously. Ha! That made me laugh a bit. Think nothing of it, Dashy. You know what I meant. I may not be too comfortable, but why don't you try and get some sleep? Hopefully we'll get out of this forest before you wake up. Dash gives me a sheepish smile before resting her head on my back. Parentheses, you jelly? I'd be fucking jelly. I try to walk as smoothly as I can not to disturb Dash sleeping on my back. Consequently, though, I ended up having to go a lot slower. Now, Dash couldn't have weighed more than 50 pounds, but I'm about as scrawny as they come. So after another 3 hours of trekking through the forest floor with 50 or so pounds of pure awesome on my back, I'm just about to collapse. I couldn't stop, though. If I stopped moving, Dash could wake up and see how much I look like shit right now. Yeah, I know she isn't all that fixed up herself, but I'm not going to look like such a weak bitch in front of Rainbow Dash. Finally, after another 20 minutes of the most grueling physical activity I've ever done, I break through the tree line into what I'm sure everyone has guessed by now. Yep, Fluttershy's property. I don't remember, but I think I squealed a little bit. I gently nudged Dash a little to wake her up. I'm sure some of you are like, why the hell did you do that, you jerk? Let her sleep. Well, I'm still playing the part like I don't know what's going on, so it'd be really weird to go up all this cottage and be like, hey, I've got your friend here, Fluttershy. You know what? How do I know your name? Well, I watch you when you sleep. Or some stupid shit like that. Dash slowly wakes up and rubs her eyes. Parentheses. God, she's so cute. She realizes where we are and jumps off my back, stretching a bit. Sleep well, Dash? Yeah, dude. Thanks. Hey, we made it out of the forest, and that over there is Fluttershy's cottage. You rock, Cole. In parentheses, life is so very, very good right now. Thanks, Dashy. Can this Fluttershy of yours help out with any of your injuries? If not, I don't mind taking you to the rest of the way to a doctor or something. I would still do it, But that may not be a good idea. You were pretty apprehensive when you first saw me, and I'm fairly certain other ponies who see me may not be a lot of the same. Yeah, you're right about that, Cole. And don't worry, Fluttershy's fixed me up plenty of times. I want you to meet her, but I need you to warn you, she's incredibly shy. I mean, it's almost silly how shy she is. I have no idea how she'll react when she sees you. If you want, I could wait over here by the tree line while you get fixed up. Then you could tell her about me and kind of prep her for what she'll see. Besides, I've already been awake for 6 hours here. I kind of sort of take care of some business, if you catch my drift. She turns away, blushing a bit. Oh, don't worry about it, Cole. That sounds fine to me, and it shouldn't take too long, and then I'll bring her out here to meet you. I'll give a heads up when I do, though. Thanks, Dashie. You're the best. She then heads up the short winding path over to the little bridge to Fluttershy's front door. I watch from the shadows as Dash knocks and Fluttershy jumps out of the doorway moments later. She starts holding Dash while crying. I'm sure she was really worried because I was several dozen yards away. I could still hear Fluttershy sob. It was not doing my heart any good, so I decided the best course of action was to give them their privacy while I search for some on my own. Chapter 3, Meeting Fluttershy, parentheses, and creepiness ensues. No author's note this time. After taking care of business, parentheses, thankfully no taxes needed to be filed, I went back to the tree line and just took a much-needed breather. I wonder how long Dashie will be, I ask aloud. That was when it finally hit me. I'm in Equestria waiting on Rainbow Dash to be fixed up by Fluttershy. Afterwards, I'll be introduced to the latter. I hadn't had time to really consider everything that has happened. First, I didn't know where I was. Then Dashie shows up, and I'm busy trying to make myself look not like a jerk. And then I spent 5 hours walking, 3 of them while Dashie was on my back. So, big day. I probably should have been thinking about all that has happened during that time, but I was just so out of it. I spent the next several minutes thinking about my family, my job, my school, and my life. I thought about Twilight and maybe being able to send me back, but I didn't want to go back. The only thing going for me back home were my parents, and I'm sure there would be some way to let them know that I was okay. It was time I did something for myself. I'm going to stay in Equestria till the day I die. I started thinking about whether or not I should see if ponification was an option, but was suddenly brought back into reality when I heard Dashie yell out to me, "Hey Cole, you can come out now. I've given Fluttershy a fair warning." I look to the cottage and see Dash standing there looking like $1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000. She was all bandaged up, but she had cleaned up a bit, and her coat had a shimmer to it. I couldn't see Fluttershy, however. She was probably hiding behind Rainbow Dash. "Okay, Dashie, I'm coming out now. Sure Fluttershy isn't going to freak out too much? By the way, but where is she?" "She'll be fine, Cole. Come on out, Fluttershy. I want you to meet my new friend." As I emerge from behind the trees, I see Fluttershy come out from behind Dash. Oh my god! Doesn't even describe it. In the show, the only other ponies that even come close to Fluttershy's cuteness are the CMC, in my opinion. Fluttershy live made me question that. Any brony knows of her cuteness, but that doesn't even come close to how she is when she's looking right at you. She was hiding mostly behind Dash, and I was only able to make out a small portion of her face. And that may be another reason why she looked so cute, but I didn't care. I just really wanted to meet this pony. "Hi, Fluttershy," I said, walking down the path across the little bridge. "I'm Cole. It's a pleasure to meet you." She just yelped and ducked behind Dash again. "You don't need to be scared of me. I know I may look weird to you. You have my word that I would never harm a pony. Won't you please come out? I'd really like to see you." Dash kindly looked back at Fluttershy and gave her a sadistic grin. She jumped right next to me, leaving Fluttershy completely exposed. Needless to say, she didn't take too kindly to it, immediately cowered down and started whimpering. She was the most heart-wrenching thing I had ever seen. "Fluttershy, cooed, I don't know how acceptable what I'm about to do is to ponies, but trust me when I say it's the only way to convey my feelings." I stepped right in front of Fluttershy and got onto my knees. I could feel Dash glaring at me, not entirely sure what it is I was about to do. She didn't stop me, though, so I decided to go for it. I picked up Fluttershy and brought her to my chest and gave her the biggest, softest, most firmest hug I've ever given to anyone. Ever. I stroked her mane and whispered, "It's all right, Fluttershy. I won't ever hurt you. You don't need to fear me." Fluttershy looked up at me with those sweet teal eyes of hers, but she didn't say anything. She just looked at me intently with a bit of fear on her face. I kept stroking her for a few more seconds before I put my hand on her cheek and then leaned in before giving her a small peck on the forehead. She went redder than red could ever be. I was scared that maybe I went a bit too far. Dash hadn't bucked me in the back of the head yet, so I figured I may be in for some kind of luck. Then Fluttershy did the one thing I never in my life would have guessed. She put her hooves around me and pulled me into her embrace. I said it before, and I have no doubt I'll be saying it again in the future. Best day ever. I wanted the moment to last forever, but sadly she eventually broke the embrace. It was all I could do not to cry a little, missing the contact. Well, that was unexpected, Dash piped up. I'm sure it didn't take much for you to get over your fear this time, Fluttershy. Oh, well, I just kind of pretended that Cole was a hairless bear, and it made it easier. I hope that's okay, Cole. I don't want you to be mad at me. I started laughing like a fool. They both looked at me like I was crazy, but I didn't care. I was on cloud 9. I was in heaven. Insert analogy for being so fucking happy here. I just didn't care. I couldn't contain it anymore. I laughed for a good 2 minutes before finally calming down enough to say, a hairless bear. That is really funny, Fluttershy. And I honestly doubt that there's anything you're capable of that could make me mad at you. You've got to be like the sweetest thing I've ever seen in either of our worlds. She looked pleased through all of that, but at the comment about worlds, she got a bit scared, and her face changed again. Cole? I kinda didn't tell Fluttershy about you being from another world just yet, Dash said, rubbing the back of her head a bit. Oh well, I hope that doesn't concern you too much, Fluttershy. Well, it's a bit scary, but you're really nice, Cole. I don't mind. I reached out and rubbed Fluttershy's head for a moment before saying, I'm really glad you feel that way. Today's been a really weird day for all of us, but you and Dashy have made this one the nicest days I've had in a long time. What? But you woke up in a forest alone and had to be put up with me being suspicious of you, and then you carried me for about 3 hours through the forest. Seems like a pretty awful day to me, Dash protested. Ah. Oh, Dashy, even if the circumstances left a lot to be desired, it was more than worth it after meeting you and Fluttershy here. Besides, life back home was much more difficult in his own way. Parentheses, I instantly regret that comment. Oh dear, was your life really that bad, Cole? The answer is complicated, Fluttershy, but you don't need to worry about it. I got up off my knees and stretched a little bit before saying, I guess I'd better build a tree house or something while there is still some light. I don't want to be sleeping on the ground tonight. This comment horrified the girls. Cole, what in Equestria makes you think that we would let you sleep outside? Fluttershy's offered me to take you in tonight since I can't get up to my cloud home, and I'm pretty sure one of our 4 other friends would be happy to take you in after they meet you. Just maybe cut back on the hugging and kissing. Hee hee. It worked out with Fluttershy, but stuff like that may not give ponies the right idea around here. Oh, thank you, Dashy. I'll remember to contain myself next time. But I don't suppose one of your friends happens to be a male? It is hardly proper for a man and a young lady to sleep under the same roof together. Parentheses. I am so full of shit. What? Why? We aren't even the same species, like you said. Ponies where you come from are just simple animals. It isn't like you're attracted to us or anything. Now it was my turn to get red. I tried to hide my face, but with Dashy and Fluttershy on both sides of me, I couldn't really pull it off. Wait, you're not attracted to us, are you? Dash gave me a look that I couldn't put my finger on. Sigh. Well, girls, if I want you to trust me, I can't lie to you. Yes, I kind of am attracted to you girls. They both gave me a very surprised look. Big eyes, small pupils, and mouths agape. Now please let me explain before any trust or friendship I've earned is ruined by my second day here. I crack my neck and knuckles and try to relax myself, but I think it only served to scare the girls more. Okay, first off, I would never take advantage or be with anybody or any pony without their consent. As for the species thing, it is true that your appearances are different, to say the least. You girls don't look like the ponies from my world. You have brighter coats, brighter eyes, nicer manes, and you're shaped differently. To give you an idea of what I mean, when I was carrying you on my back, Dashy, I took a few guesses at how much you possibly weigh. I don't know if being light is just a Pegasus thing or something, but it couldn't have been more than 50 pounds. Ponies where I come from usually range from 650 to 800 pounds, I'd say. I didn't think the girls could look more surprised, but boy was I wrong. They have feelings and spirits, of course, but there isn't really any other way to say this without it sounding bad, so I'm just going to have to say it. They are basically petite horses that can't do as much work as a normal horse, and basically only around so young farm girls can have something cuter to enjoy as a pet. In the past, they were really useful, but nowadays, in my world, they aren't really needed. I can't, in good conscience, compare you girls to the ponies in my world. You are much, much smarter. You're a lot cuter and sweeter. You girls can talk and have personalities. In all honesty, girls, I can't even compare you to the human girls where I'm from. There's some nice ones, but you two are light years nicer and charming than the ones I've met. I know I've only met like 2 of you since I've been here, but something's telling me that the ponies are at least close to being as nice and friendly as you two are. So yes, I am attracted to you girls because you are friendly, smart, sweet, charming, and in all honesty, not hard on the eyes. They were both just sitting there looking at the ground. There were no comments made. They just sat there looking dumbfounded. It stayed that way for several minutes and I was getting very concerned. I hope I just didn't ruin my chances of being their friend after that. Finally, Dashi turned her eyes to look at me, but I just can't look her in the eyes. It really hurt her seeing like that. All I could do was hang my head and say, I'm sorry, girls. I know these feelings are very unwanted, but you deserve to know why I couldn't accept your offer. I hope you can forgive me. I'll leave now. Don't worry. I won't bother you two anymore. I walked past Dash and not looking at her and made my way over to the bridge and towards the forest. I was thinking about anything to try and keep myself from crying. I thought back to as many funny jokes as I could remember. I tried counting. I tried anything to keep the emotions locked up. All it ever came back to was, I just fucked up the best thing I ever had. I was almost at the tree line when I heard Dash yell at me, Cole, wait. I stopped and looked back. The pain must have been evident on my face because Dash had a look of shock as soon as she got close. I'm sorry about that, Cole. We didn't... ... I don't know what to say. No pony has ever said such nice things to us before. I guess I was just a little weirded out because of all those hugs and that kiss that you gave Fluttershy. For a Colt to do that, it would be like confessing his love for her. I thought that was since you were a different species, that doing stuff that wasn't weird for you, but I guess it really was. You have a lot of guts to do that to a mare, and you just met one, you know? I laughed again, not a full hearty laugh like before, but a pleasantly pleased laugh. I know, Dashi, it just made me really uncomfortable too. I just couldn't stand to see Fluttershy look so scared. If I had thought of any other way to express myself, I would have done so. It just seemed like the only thing I could have done, you know? Yeah, I know, Cole. But you don't need to worry about it that much. I trust you when I say that you wouldn't take advantage of us. Thank you, Dashi. That means so much to me. I choked up a little. I managed to laugh it off before waterworks started. That was when Fluttershy came flying over and tackled me into the ground. Wait, what? Oh, that's a line in the book, by the way. That's not a reaction from me. Fluttershy, what on earth are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Cole. Please don't be mad. I just didn't like you being so sad. I don't mind how you feel either. It just took me all by surprise, is all. I hope that all is okay. Fluttershy, if you keep hugging me like this, I don't think a kick to the back of my head would ever be enough to make me mad. She gave me a warm smile and broke the hug. Parentheses, damn it! Even if you have those kinds of feelings for us, Cole, there isn't any guarantee that you will go for any other pony, right? Well, you're right, Dashi. It's just that I've never had these kind of feelings for anyone back home before. If only I didn't like anyone there in that way. Yet I've already met 2 beings here who actually make me feel something. I've met hundreds in my world, and only 2 here. That kind of track record, it is very likely that your friends are going to be awesome too. I may end up liking them too, just as quickly. Of course, you don't have to worry about me doing anything. You might just make me living under the same roof really uncomfortable. I can understand that. But we don't have any cult friends that you could bunk with, so you either bunk with one of our friends or we make you. Dash had a very sadistic smile on her face, and I loved it. Ha 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 ha. Well, when you put it like that, I'll just take a cold shower before bed. Parentheses, instant regret. A cold shower? Why would you want that? Dash asked me, giving me a funny look. Well, Dashy, the thing is, I'm sorry. Why do you keep apologizing? It was then that Fluttershy pulled Dash in close and started whispering something in her ear that turned her redder than a stoplight. She just looked at me. I'm so very, very, very sorry. She raised her hoof up at me, and for a second I thought she was going to hit me, but then she just burst out laughing. It was a glorious laugh. It was like when she laughed at Twilight's eye muscles during the Raining of Leaves episode, but with fewer comments about eye muscles, though that might have made it funnier. Oh, Cole, that is too funny. I'm sure whoever you bunk with would appreciate that. She had the biggest knowing grin on her face, and I don't know if I should be happy or sad that this kind of talk didn't bother them too much. Well, at least I'm not on her end. It was at this moment I desperately needed to figure something out. In the show, whenever someone got hurt and they never bled, Dash had dried blood on her when I first saw her come out of the forest, so what else was different from the show, with all this talk about being attracted to whatnot, and at least this latest boner joke, parentheses, half joking, more parentheses, get it? I was having a very hard time trying not to check out the girls, ... privates. I'm sorry, I know I'm horrible, but they don't wear clothes. I'm curious, alright? I thought Dash knew something was up because I was lost in my own head again. Hey, Cole? Equestrian Cole? You in there? Huh? What? Yeah, sorry about that. I just kind of went blank for a minute. So, who do you think would be the best choice for me to bunk with? No worries, Cole, but let me think. Dash tapped her foot to her chin a few times before looking at Fluttershy and saying, I'm thinking either Applejack, or her barn, or Twilight. What do you think, Fluttershy? Oh, well, I think Twilight would be a good choice. She might have had a way to send Cole home. At that comment, my whole world crashed around me. I think the girls noticed because I assume I went wider than Rarity. Whoa, Cole. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I kicked at the ground a little before looking back up and saying, Girls, there's something I need to talk to you about. But if this is Twilight, the one I'm capable of sending me home, wouldn't it be better if she were there to hear it too? The girls looked at each other and then shot me a concerned look. Is everything alright, Cole? You look a little bit worried. Fluttershy trotted over to me and put her hoof on my leg. If anything is bothering you, you can tell us. We are your friends after all. She gave me a comforting smile, and it was all I could not to scoop her up and smother her with love. Thankfully, I managed to control myself. Everything is going to be fine, Fluttershy. I'm sure of it. It's just that what I am going to say may be a bit of a shock, and if this Twilight has the power to send me home, then she is definitely smart enough to know how to fix my problem. Not that it's a big one, it's more of a concern than a problem, but anyway, we aren't going to get anything done standing here. So if you would be so kind to show me the way, I would be very thankful. I have to stay and take care of the animals. One of the beavers has a rather nasty toothache. He just wouldn't listen to me when I told him to give the maple trees a break. That has got to be the funniest damn thing I've heard Fluttershy say, and she called me a hairless bear. Hee hee. Alright, Fluttershy, it was wonderful meeting you. I hope we'll get to see each other again soon. She gave me a slightly confused look before saying, alright, Cole, I hope so too, and then said her byes to Dash and went back to her cottage. When she was walking back, I couldn't help but take a glance or two at her posterior. I didn't want to oogle the poor dear. I just wanted to know if I'm dealing with the undefined bodies or the defined bodies. Much to my pleasure and horror, a gust of wind blew Fluttershy's tail out of the way. And even a gust of wind blew Fluttershy's tail out of the way, and even though there were a dozen or so yards between us, I caught a glimpse of her mare hood, and I'm not proud of it. I am a complete asshat, and I just invaded her privacy. I hate myself. I'm just glad Dash didn't notice. I would not be able to talk my way out of that.